Welcome to my channel. Breaking news from Washington, D.C. The federal budget battle has exploded into a political scandal. Just hours ago, Representative Jasmine Crockett publicly accused House Speaker Mike Johnson of orchestrating a government shutdown to cover up a secret political purge. She claimed to have a blacklist containing the names of thousands of systematically targeted federal employees. The Speaker's office immediately fired back, calling it a dangerous lie and a reckless act that endangers national security. Neither side is backing down. American politics is on the brink of a constitutional crisis. America is holding its breath. Washington is not just paralyzed, it is rotting from within. The marble halls of power now echo with the silence of a tomb, while across TV screens an elaborate political drama is being played out. House Speaker Mike Johnson, his face determined, roared his declaration of war. We will never give in. Republicans will stand here every day, and we will continue to deliver the simple truth directly to the American people. It was a perfect set piece. But the seeds of this storm weren't sown in televised statements. They were sown quietly, weeks earlier, not on the news, but in a stuffy hearing room of the House Oversight Committee. From the start of the tense budget negotiations, Representative Jasmine Crockett sensed something was amiss. As a senior member, she chaired a hearing with officials from the Office of Management and Budget. Across from her was a deputy secretary, a Russ Vought loyalist, brought in to defend the proposals for sweeping budget cuts. She began calmly, her voice as sharp as a lawyer's. "Mr. Deputy Secretary, I'm reviewing the list of agencies that have been proposed for structuring for efficiency. It includes the Environmental Protection Agency, the National Institutes of Health, and even NOAA's Climate Research Division. Can you explain the logic behind targeting these scientific agencies?" The deputy responded with a prepared platitude. "Congressman, we believe in fiscal responsibility. This is about cutting unnecessary bureaucracy to save taxpayers' money." Jasmine Crockett leaned forward, her eyes fixed on him. "Bureaucracy, sir? Is Dr. Marcus Thorne, a world-leading immunologist working on vaccines for future pandemics, bureaucracy? Or Dr. Elena Rosales, whose work on sea level rise has saved thousands of lives, unnecessary? Why are their names appearing in internal memos about personnel review?" The room fell silent. She had gone off script. She wasn't just talking about numbers, she was talking about people. The deputy minister was stunned, confused. I don't have information on those specific individuals." Crockett didn't let up. "Then get the information, because to me, this doesn't look like budget cuts. It looks like a witch hunt disguised in accounting language." The hearing ended in tension, but a message had been sent. Jasmine Crockett was watching, and that's why, weeks later, when Mike Johnson's government shutdown drama began in earnest, someone in the shadows knew exactly who to turn to. The government shutdown is not a failure, it is a weapon. While America was distracted by the narrative war between Johnson and Schumer, behind the scenes, Clean Hands campaign is activated. Led by architect Russ Vought, a small, loyal group inside OMB began the process of blacklisting. They used the chaos of the shutdown as the perfect cover. Each layoff was disguised as budget-related restructuring. It was a philosophical battle about the nature of government, waged in silence. But they didn't count on one variable: disobedience. A senior OMB official, who witnessed the plan with horror, decided to act. One rainy night, Jasmine Crockett received an anonymous USB drive. Inside were blueprints for an administrative coup. She couldn't wait. She used her authority on the Oversight Committee to request an emergency hearing with House Speaker Mike Johnson himself. The confrontation took place in a room packed with lawmakers and reporters. Mike Johnson sat there, confident, ready to repeat his points. But Jasmine Crockett didn't ask about the budget. She looked straight at him. "Mr. Chairman, while the service members are not being paid, I understand the Office of Management and Budget is working overtime. Can you tell this committee what their priorities are?" Johnson responded smoothly. "They are working hard to identify non-essential activities, Congressman, to ensure every dollar of the people is spent wisely." "So the termination of Dr. David Chen, a nuclear physicist, was non-essential?" Crockett asked, her voice icy. Johnson paused. "I'm not familiar with individual personnel decisions." "So let me introduce you," she said, her voice rising. Dr. Chen recently published a study showing that the energy policies advocated by some of his major donors are unsustainable. And now he's on OMB's restructuring list. Is that a coincidence, Mr. Chairman? She continued, not giving him a chance to breathe. Or that Dr. Amelia Vance, the head of the SEC's ethics division, who was investigating insider trading involving several members of Congress, was suddenly also under consideration for termination? Was that saving taxpayers' money or silencing investigators? The room exploded. Johnson's confidence turned to anger. He pounded the table. This is a disgraceful political attack. The congressman is using stolen information to smear patriots. You should be ashamed of yourself. Johnson snarled, trying to regain control. Congresswoman Crockett is waiving documents she has no right to possess, jeopardizing government operations and putting the safety of federal employees at risk. Her actions are not oversight, they are sedition. The silence in the room was broken by a murmur of astonishment. But Crockett stood up, undeterred. She turned to look directly at Johnson, whose face was red with anger. Rebellion, mister. Chairman is when you turn the office of the budget into your personal weapon. Rebellion is when you try to silence science and suppress the truth to protect your wealthy donors. I don't serve your secrets. I serve the American people and the Constitution of the United States. The hearings shattered Johnson's charade, but instead of backing down, he and his allies fought back harder, calling Jasmine Crockett a national security threat. By attacking the messenger rather than the news, they inadvertently confirmed that there was something to hide. The budget war narrative was braked. Jasmine Crockett knew she had one last move. She called an emergency press conference that would go down in history. Behind her stood the scientists, experts, and public servants targeted by the blacklist. She stepped to the podium, not as a politician, but as a defender. Ladies and gentlemen, for days now, the speaker and his allies have been attacking me. They say I'm dangerous. But the real danger isn't those who speak the truth. The real danger is those who try to silence it. She gestured to the people behind her. They are not numbers on a spreadsheet. They are guardians of our health, our environment, and the integrity of our economy. Operation Clean Hands is not about cleaning up government. It is about cleaning up government of those who dare speak truth to power. I call it what it is, a coup from within, and we will not let it happen. She paused, looked straight into the camera, sending a direct message to her opponents. They call me dangerous. Yes, I am dangerous. I am dangerous to their secret plans. I am dangerous to their corruption. And I promise you, I will continue to be the greatest danger to anyone who tries to turn this democracy into their own dictatorship. The case reveals a disturbing truth about democracy in the 21st century. The battle for the soul of the nation is no longer being fought in voting booths. It is being fought in hearing rooms, in databases, and in seemingly mundane administrative processes. The battle that Jasmine Crockett has just ignited is only just beginning. But it raises fundamental questions for the future. Who really controls the state? Can a professional civil service survive the pressures of extreme political loyalty? And ultimately, who will defend the republic? The battle for the blacklist is not just Jasmine Crockett's battle. It is the battle of all who believe that with power comes responsibility, and that the highest allegiance should be to the Constitution, not to a man or a party. The fight for the blacklist isn't just happening on your screen, it's a warning. If you believe the truth must come to light, press the button, register, and turn on notifications. If you believe that power should be monitored, share this video to get the message out. Tell us in the comments, who's really running this country?